Well, Happy New Year, everyone. You are looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, and you can see how it pulled back. So I'm not so happy for Nasdaq and technology investors, but it was due to sell off actually after being up 42% in 2023. There's something about January at the end, last 2 weeks of December and the first 2 weeks of January. Normally you see lower volume in the last week, and we didn't get that in the last week of December. And then the first 2 weeks of January, usually you get two V's, you get volatility and you get volume. So we got above average daily volume today. And the NASDAQ pulled back to the 21, closed just a tick above it, 4.9% above the 50. I remember when the Nasdaq was going up, I was telling you it's got to come back. You always watch those moving averages. The 50 got 8.5% above the 50 there on December 19th, and then 6.6 and 7.8. So eventually they always come back to the moving averages. Even in the summer rally here last year, where it got 9% above the 50, it pulled back, right? And then it ran back up and it got 8.2% above the 50, then pulled back. It actually sliced it, and we had the three legs down. Now, I'm not saying we're going to have three legs down here at the start of the year, but I am saying that that selling for tax reasons is normal, and added volatility and volume is normal for this time of year. I mean, think about it. If you owned Apple or Amazon and now you can sell it in the first couple of weeks of January, you don't have to pay taxes on those gains until April of 2025. So you get a 16-month reprieve from paying Uncle Sam. So it's just nothing to worry about. I don't think there's anything going on here particularly abnormal with the market here. This is a totally normal day. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It was down 245 points, 1.63%. See the volume a little bit, 13% above average daily volume, closed at 14,765. And you say, what now? Well, we could have some more selling, right? Like I say, it was up 42% last year, and it only went down 1.6% today. So maybe there's some more selling out there for tax purposes, but just got to be patient. People are telling me, I'm going to buy XYZ stock because it pulled back to the 10. Well, wait for the bounce on these things. Wait till you see, the institutions, they're going to sell off and they're going to buy them back at lower prices, right? So don't be too and don't rush in. Fools rush in. Just wait for the bounce. This is the Russell. It pulled back today. Yeah, I think it's going to have a really strong year. If we look at the weekly, it's just pulling out of a couple years of consolidation, but it's not going to go up every day, and one day doesn't make a trend. But the one key factor here is the correlation of the 10-year, and this has been going up here, pretty steep rebound here in the 10-year. So it's pretty hard for the Russell to gain much traction with that sharp little bounce there. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Anyway, we talk stocks and not indexes, although, I do buy from time to time. Somebody called me out. Yeah, I bought the TNA in the last part of the year, but I'm not really a exchange traded fund person or an index person. I like to trade stocks. Now, Apple got downgraded today by Barclays. They cited weak iPhone sales. I don't know. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but it doesn't matter. They just shoot first and ask questions later. You can see the big volume sell-off. Apple's trying to hold on to its 50-year, and it closed just a tick below it. So not a good day for Apple investors, but something tells me it'll be all right. Microsoft, another one of these, big gains in these stocks. So I'm not saying they want to sell them, but they have to sell them, because for a variety of reasons. And taxes is just one of them. Being in compliance with funds is another. So, to me, yeah, this was like 5 weeks tight or whatever. And yeah, it pulled back a little bit, but still 370. I'm not worried about Microsoft. I think it'll be just fine. Google pulled back to the 21 today. That's not a bounce, it just pulled back, and we'll see if there's more selling as we go on through the week. That thing still set up near that 139 buy point. That one looks still good to me, hanging in there. Amazon pulled back to the 21 as well, closed right at the 21, as you can see there, which is was $150 today, or a rising 21, I might add. So, we'll just take it one day at a time, and hopefully the selling will be over pretty soon and just kind of go sideways. But I did see some nice shakeouts today. Meta Platforms, another one, yeah, pulled back to the 21 and closed 0.8% above it. Tesla came out with some decent delivery numbers. It was up for a little bit, then just kind of pulled back. That one is right at its 21 and just consolidating in this double bottom base pattern. So, yeah. The semiconductors, starting with NVIDIA, pulled back once again. Big gainer. This is up 250% last year. It's not going to go up every day. So people sell and they pay taxes next year. It's pretty much a fundamental and common thing. AMD. Now, I was asked about AMD today because it pulled back to the 10. Should I buy it at the 10? It's, to me, you just got to be patient and wait. Where is this thing going to bounce? Is it going to pull back to the 21 and bounce? Is it going to pull back to the 50 or slice to 50? You don't know. So just wait until the selling's over. Wait till some buying comes in. And yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with AMD. It was weird. I got an alert today saying AMD crossed above 150, and I'm going, it wasn't even anywhere close to 150. So anyway, I got to check my alerts. Broadcom, another semiconductor stock, just pulled back, and it's above its 21, 1.4%. So you just got to wait until the selling abates and the buyers step in. Anyway, I'm going to move on to something that was working today, and that was our XBI. We talked about this. It's been down so long that it's been selling off for since February of 21. It's been almost 3 years, had this long consolidation. And now it looks like it wants to break out of this stage one base pattern. But the XBI, well, that's a big, exchange traded fund. And the stocks within, biotech today were really romping. This is KURA Oncology. This is one that was on our ready list today, and it pulled through with nearly a 7% gain. Did I buy it? No, I didn't. But that's a nice gain. So yeah, another one that was on our list was ACAD. I still kind of like this little pattern here, and that one looks fine. CYTK. They had an approval last week, made another new high today. That one looks strong. Regeneron, I'm just going to go through them. There's a lot of these strong stocks today. Regeneron was doing well, and I've got to go to LBPH because they had an approval this morning. I was really surprised. It was up 100 and something percent in pre-market, but it went up like 300% today with 50,000% above average daily volume and only up 4% in after hours. So congrats to the longs there. That's Longboard Pharma. Look at that. Wow. So that's what drug approvals can do. That was living in the penthouse today. Some other ones that made new highs is Ionis Pharmaceuticals, looking good. Just a lot of strength. Some of the bigger ones, Eli Lilly, yeah, got back above its 50 today. And that reminds me, how did NVO do? Down $1, no big deal. Pull back to its 10. Yeah, that one looks fine, just consolidating. Anything else in the no, I'm gonna move on. I lied. IMCR. It's another one, Immunocore, that looks good. That's been consolidating here in this base and now breaking out. So I should have had that one on our ready list, but I had quite a bit of biotech. I didn't want to overload one section going into the new year. But anyway, happy new year for the biotech stocks. Some of the oil and gas stocks saw some love. They're beaten down, just this is the trade where the dogs of the Dow or whatever. Chevron was had a really bad year last year. Oil's down a lot. So Exxon, they got a little buy today. I'm not interested in stocks that are in downtrends though, but I'm just acknowledging that some of these stocks are doing okay. This is a Kodiak Gas Services. This is another one that was on our ready list, and it looks pretty good. It broke out of a base and pulled back and came back to its buy area and was up 0.5% today. So not bad. Weatherford is another one that I like. And this looks like a handle to me. So you want the shakeouts when you're in bases, you want to shake out the weak hands, okay? And this one pulled back to its 21. It didn't bounce, but I'm looking for a bounce here. It might even pull back to its 50, but Weatherford still looks good. That high area around 95. Don't give up on that one. RRC, not really sure why I wrote this one down. Oh well, RRC, you got to get the right ticker symbol, you dummy. Oh yeah, it's just these beaten down names are getting some love. That's all. I'm going to go to some of the retail stocks. Abercrombie and Fitch just does not care. This is just a beautiful uptrend. I wish I owned it, but I don't. It was up a 3% again today, so that one looks fantastic. Some other retail names. I got to get you Deckers. This one pulled back. It's below its 21. Still looks okay. Yeah. Yeah, Deckers, I would be wary of that. Elf is one that I like. Once again, I talked about the shakeout, right? That's a nice cut pattern. Everybody's getting interested. 3 weeks tight and boom, it shakes you out, right? Um, I had some people saying, should I buy this one today? I'm thinking, you got to wait for the bounce. Let them shake everybody out. What if it comes down below the 50, shakes hard down to like 120 or whatever, and then rallies back? So you don't want to jump in too soon because you get shaken out. But Elf looks good to me. That looks like a nice pattern. And Celsius had a nice day today as well. Once again, it's been kind of in a trade range. There was a big whale in there selling. That person, that estate may be done selling. It was up a nice 8% gain today. So Celsius looks good as it comes out of this. Breaks above this downtrending line here, right? Yeah. So it broke above the downtrend line today. So Celsius looks good. Some of the software names that had big years last year just pull back to the 21. This is a Dow Jones industrial component, Salesforce, ServiceNow. Had a big year, pulled back to the 21, down nearly 3% today. MNDY is another one that I like. Sliced that's a nice shake out there, slicing the 21. So you want to shake out. You see a lot of, say, these people on Twitter, they're posting their P&L, they're getting cocky, and this is what happens. They get humbled real fast, owning these, momentum stocks. So don't be doing that. Stay humble, stay patient, work the market to your advantage. Don't be cocky and bragging, that's bad karma. That's just my own personal opinion. I don't, I've been humbled many times, so I don't participate in that type of activity. This is Snowflake, closed 1.3% below the 21, but still 9% above the 50. So Snowflake, if you look at the weekly, that one looks good as well. Datadog, I didn't even look to see. It was down 5% today, so that's a nice shakeout as well, slicing its 21. So stick with them, keep watching them. I'm going to stop there, except for I lie in honor of the great Steve Jobs. I have one more thing, and that is, some defensive names that have been beaten down had, got some love today. This is Lockheed Martin. Nothing that I'm interested, just got to acknowledge, where the money's flowing. Yeah, selling the big tech and buying some of these beaten down names. Northrop Grumman. I saw Shockwave, which was sold off a lot, and that it was up 2% today. So, I'm not really interested. I'm just observing the markets here. Tech's not going to sell off forever. I mean, they're not selling these stocks because they don't like them. They're selling them for other reasons. And we really don't need to know the reasons. We just have to wait for the bounce. That's it for me. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year. And at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up. All right. Have a good evening.